Hello, it's Annika, and in this video, which is actually part 3 in my little Disney career series, so if you haven't got the first 2, which cover the Disney College Program and the Disney Professional Internships, be sure to check those out. But in this video, I will be covering kind of how I came across my professional job with Disney Technology. Crazy, right? And to kind of answer some of your questions that you asked on my Instagram stories. It was just too much to give like a quick response, so I kind of want to make a full video on it because I have a lot to say. A couple disclaimers. Due to COVID-19, obviously roles are kind of on pause right now. Thankfully, I was so lucky to keep my job during this time, and I kind of wanted to use this time to also help others out for when jobs do start opening up at Disney. But hopefully you can find some helpful tips in these videos and they'll give you more confidence when applying. So we'll kind of start on like a little brief personal experience of working for Disney, and then I'll hop right into your questions. So let's jump right into professional career with Disney. All right, let's get professional. I feel kind of weird like wearing my name tag right now, so I'm just gonna take her off. So I feel like I've kind of been building up to this point since this is part 3 in my little Disney career 3-part series. But up to this point, I've been basically covering my entire timeline working with Disney, starting as a college program kind of, and then working my way up to a professional internship. And now I have worked full-time for Disney for a year. My 1-year anniversary mark was actually, I think, tomorrow. It's tomorrow, May 26th. So that's kind of crazy. Now I just want to share my experiences with all of you. So in my last video, I talked about my whole professional internship situation and touched upon kind of how my internship basically landed me my full-time role. My title is a product analyst, and I essentially kind of make sure our tickets show up on the website when you go to disneyworld.com. I started my internship kind of the intern version of that role. I'm doing very similar things that I was doing a year and a half ago when I started my internship, which was January 2019. And since then, I landed this full-time role, and I've also kind of been put in another role in the meantime, and then back to my role, and then now I'm doing a million different things. But I'll kind of share with you how my internship really helped me out. So if you watched my last video, you do know that my end goal was to get a job with Disney. Like, I'd already graduated college. I was class of 2018. I started my CP when I was like the last time that I was eligible. I went right into my professional internship after that and went right into my full-time role after that. So that was the end goal. Like, my manager knew that I wanted to stay here. I also made sure that everyone I worked with knew that I was a hard worker and I wanted to provide value to my team and to the company and be an asset. So with that, my team actually didn't know if they'd be able to offer me an extension for my internship, let alone a full-time role. So I knew that I kind of had to take matters in my own hand and apply to other internships that seemed interesting to me. And I actually did receive an offer for another internship working with like data analytics and things like that. But I decided to stay with my current internship because they ended up being able to offer me an extension in that current role. So I really love the people I was working with, and I thought this is somewhere I could really grow and gain more experience that I was interested in. So I stuck with that. And it worked out in my favor because they actually ended up being able to offer me a full-time role, and I didn't even like start my extension. I worked for probably about 5 months when my internship was set to be 6 months, and I converted to full-time like before I even hit the 6-month mark. So I did like partial internship and then just went full-time, and now I've been full-time for a year. There wasn't really even like a transition from like intern to full-time. It was more of just like here's a little bit more responsibility, but kind of doing what you already do as an intern. So that was very nice for me coming into kind of my first actual job. I've thankfully been able to keep my job during this COVID-19 madness. I'm so grateful for that. Okay, so questions. How to make a resume stand out. I covered this more in depth in my professional internship video, which is part 2 of the series. But I mean, it's like applying for any job. You want to keep your resume to one page. You want it concise and detailed and relevant, and you want to match your keywords from the job description to your resume. So if they're listing out specific qualifications, you better have them listed out on your resume and how much experience you have with those, because that's kind of the whole point of a resume. You want to show why you're qualified. You want to put some of your personality on your resume too. I mean, your resume will go through a computer first, so the computer doesn't really care about personality, but once it passes all the qualifications and all your keywords, you want it to be something that someone looks at and says, okay, wow, I want to meet this person and I want to work with them, kind of thing. And I think one way I was kind of able to make myself stand out was kind of using my well-rounded experiences. I was lucky enough to be able to study abroad when I was in college, and I did this really unique program called Semester at Sea, and it's actually come up in so many interviews where the hiring manager had done semesters at sea before, or they were super interested in having me tell them a couple of travel stories and things like that. So that was kind of unique, but obviously not everyone can just put travel on their resume and just connect with every hiring manager. But finding the things that make you you. So I like to be very creative, but with my technical background, those kind of use both sides of the brain. So the way I kind of incorporate that into one is I like to make my resume kind of more of like a graphic design layout. I know that you can get away with having just black text on a white piece of paper and still get the same job. But for me, it was important for me to showcase kind of my creativity and I guess over the top go-getter, overachiever side by laying that out in a very aesthetic way while also keeping it professional. Next question, do connections matter? I touched more upon this in my professional internship video, but I think once you're in your professional environment, connections do matter. They matter a lot. You don't want to have people working with you say, I don't want to work with this person ever again. Like, that's what you don't want. You want to be a team player. You want to be an asset. You want to bring value. You want to show that you can get things done, you can get them done on time, and that you're a good communicator. You can write a concise email, and just like professional skills like that that can sometimes make or break you with your coworkers. And I hate to say that like you want to be likable, but like you want to be likable. People hate you, like you're not gonna make any connections and it won't get you anywhere. So just fine-tuning those professional skills and having a positive attitude and having a good work ethic will do great things for you. Next question, how to get over stepping outside of your comfort zone. Whew, that one's a tough one because interviewing in general gives me such bad anxiety, like horrible anxiety. My entire life I've just had the worst interview anxiety. Oh, it's like making me nervous even like talking about this because it's something that I've just struggled with so much over the years. And I found that practice makes perfect, and doing it more obviously makes you more comfortable, but I still hate being put on the spot. I hate being interviewed in general. I like having time to think out what I want to say. I don't like being caught off guard. In some instances, it can be kind of exhilarating and it can be fun. But I know when I was in college and I was interviewing for like simple internships or just like job fairs or anything like that, I would literally burst into tears after my interview and just shake and just have so much anxiety because I just hated it. Like I couldn't stand interviews. Like I hate talking one-on-one with someone about myself. Which is kind of weird, and that sounds crazy when I say that out loud, but I mean, hand me a microphone and put me on stage in a spotlight in front of thousands of people, no problem. One-on-one interview, I am shitting my pants and I am freaking the heck out. I don't know why, but that was a huge thing I had to get over and step out of my comfort zone for in order to get myself to where I am today. So I think something that helped me a lot was kind of putting on a persona, and I always relate this back to like Beyonce because I think she had her album I Am Sasha Fierce, and Sasha Fierce is kind of her alter ego, and that's like her performer side. In order to be comfortable to put herself out there the way that she does, she becomes like Sasha Fierce. And before I go into an interview, I kind of put on an alter ego. Like I don't have a name for it, but like I just tell myself I am confident, I know myself, I know my experiences, I am qualified, I deserve to be here, let me just have a simple conversation with this person. And that's helped me a lot. Pretending that you're actually confident in doing something when you may not be. Fake it till you make it. I think another side of that is imposter syndrome. That's super common, I think, more amongst women especially, but when it comes to stepping outside of your comfort zone in making connections or applying to jobs or like asking for a promotion or working with different teams or taking charge and taking ownership of things, like I think that can also be a way of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And you really just have to go for it. If you ask yourself, do I want to be in that position? Yes or no? Am I willing to work for it? Yes or no? And that kind of forces you, well, if the answer is yes to both of those questions, like this is what I have to do. These are the steps I have to take to get me there. Do I want to be successful in this? Yes? All right, well, I've got to put up with the things that might make me a little bit uncomfortable, like going through interviews or going through social interactions, like social anxiety. Yes, raise your hand. I consider myself a very extroverted introvert. I could sit inside all day not talking to a soul and be happy. But there are also times where I could go to a party and just make friends and talk to everyone there. Like, I don't know. That still gives me anxiety on the inside. But again, fake it till you make it. You have to just do it. Next question, what kinds of jobs? So, I mean, I can't even answer that question. What kinds of jobs? Like, Disney has so many different aspects to the business. There's Disney Cruise Line, there's Disney Parks and Resorts, there's Disney like analytics, there's Imagineering, there's like the physical actual parks, the resorts themselves. Any type of role you can think of, Disney probably has it. So that one's a tough one to just sum up. But I would just say do your research. Those are all the questions I received on my Instagram story, and I think I pretty much summed up my whole like Disney timeline and career within this 3-part series. At this point in time, I truly hope that Disney, and not just Disney, but all the companies who had to furlough a lot of employees will start opening up spots again. And I wish you the very best in applying and following your dreams. Alright, so there you have it. That's kind of my experience, and hopefully I answered most of your burning questions. If you do have more, please feel free to leave some more in the comments down below. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Do it. And if you want to see any more videos like this, please let me know, because I know when I was applying for jobs and internships with Disney, I was just scouring YouTube and Google for anything I could watch, even if it was like the same video over and over again. Like, I would just like watch all of them just because some videos had like a little bit extra information or what, I don't know. And I just love hearing people's like personal experiences, so I'm here to share that with you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a magical day.